This place is surrounded. You're on contained. I need you to come up with your hands up in the air.
Now at 6, residents in Northwest Portland forced to stay in their homes for hours as police search for a man armed with a knife. The important role a police canine played in the suspect's arrest.
And Portland City councilors are moving the Moda Center term sheet forward for negotiations. How the Blazers are responding to their decision coming up.
Plus, 2 goats were spotted hopping onto a TriMet bus in southeast Portland. Yes, you heard that right. But where were they going? We have the answer later at 6:30. But first,
this is Powerball.
Well, one lucky person is now a billionaire, and it's not any of us. Where the winning Powerball ticket was sold coming up as your news at sunrise starts right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Thursday. I'm China Green.
I'm Matthew Herchik. Glad to have you with us. We traded China for Chris today. He is off doing weather this evening at the LPGA Portland Classic Gold Tournament. So that means it's just Rod, and we'll let the viewers decide if we won the trade.
I haven't been here for 3 hours, and I already just want to
I missed you.
backhand him softly, but still backhand nevertheless.
It was a long, 12 hours the last 3 mornings without you.
You messed up my hair.
So I'm sorry. It was messed
My job is strange, isn't it? The people I work with are strange.
It is.
Okay, here we go. We have our air quality and our red flag high fire danger map. The red is the high fire danger issued for this afternoon because of lightning activity expected from thunderstorm development that could spark new fires. This overlays a lot of the gray shades that are still in place for a good chunk of Central and Eastern Oregon, our old friend, the air quality advisory due to all the wildfire activity that continues. You can see a little bit of a smoky haze starting to encroach up on Mount Hood this morning, 52 degrees. We have another push of some marine cloudiness along the coast and coming into the city of Portland this morning. Looking out over the West Hills, the Providence Park camera, 58 degrees. The big story today, I think we'll start to see at noon, an increasing hazy sunshine from wildfire smoke that is expected to move back into the valley. In fact, it's at least possible that we have an all-out smoky overcast again later this afternoon at 5 p.m. with a temperature of 82 degrees. Now, if that happens, the smoke is expected to start thinning out quickly tomorrow. We'll have your complete forecast coming up. Chris is off, as Matthew mentioned, so we are checking the roads. And so far on the freeways, not seeing any issues coming in from the west side on the Sunset. That's 13 minutes from Brookwood Parkway. No problems on Marine Drive. Coming in the Banfield to I-5 as well. And 16 minutes will get you up I-5 from Wilsonville. Clark County commute looks good. Only 8 minutes from Main Street into downtown, and over on 205 Patton Parkway to the 84 split is 11 minutes. And that's your traffic update, guys.
Thank you very much, Rod. Well, after weeks of debate, public testimony, and questions over how much Portland should spend to keep the Blazers in town, Portland City leaders have now taken a major step toward a deal.
The City Council voted 8-4 yesterday to approve an amended term sheet for a Moda Center renovation. The plan could put up $120 million towards the project, but the vote does not lock Portland into a final agreement. However, it does set the stage for the next round of negotiations. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson breaks down what the city agreed to and what still has to happen.
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China, getting to that vote, it took several hours. Councilors started deliberating Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. and things didn't wrap up until 1:30 in the afternoon. And they were debating what the city should get for putting up millions of dollars. Now, the approved term sheet could put up to $120 million in city money that will go toward renovating the Moda Center with the goal of keeping the Trailblazers in Portland for at least another 20 years. The city's contribution is part of a nearly $600 million public funding package that also includes $365 million from the state and up to $101.6 million from Multnomah County. Under the city's terms, Rip City Management would pay Portland $3.17 million in annual rent with 3% increases tied to inflation. That would be in addition to a proposed $3 million annual payment to offset property taxes. Now, the vote passed 8-4. The 4 councilors who voted no, questioning whether the city is getting enough in return for its investment. The term sheet also includes community benefits, limits on how much public money can be spent, and a commitment that the Trailblazers would play all home games at the Moda Center. Mayor Keith Wilson says there's still more work to do and framed the vote as a message to the NBA.
We have 120 days to provide all the information to our negotiators to get going. So this is going to be hard. Nothing has been solved. Nothing is complete other than one chapter is closed and the important work is still ahead.
And the key thing to remember here, this is still non-binding. This term sheet, Wednesday's vote, moves things toward formal negotiations over the renovation funding and a new lease, with a final agreement set to come back before City Council at some point in December. Matthew, China.
We'll be keeping an eye on it. Thank you very much, Corey. We appreciate it. And just hours after the vote, the Blazers responded with a statement. President of Business Operations, Dwayne Hankins, saying, quote, "I want to thank Mayor Wilson, Council President Dunphy, and the City Council for their efforts to this point. We appreciate today's actions and acknowledge there is still meaningful work ahead as we continue negotiations." He went on to say, "Our goal remains the same, to reach a deal that allows the Trailblazers to succeed on the court and as a business, supports a thriving Portland economy, and creates a path for the team to remain in Portland for decades to come. We look forward to continuing to work with the city's negotiating team in good faith, addressing the issues that remain and finding a resolution that allows all of us to move forward together."
And now to an hours-long search in Northwest Portland, where police tracked down a man that they say was armed with a knife. He's also accused of assaulting a police canine during the arrest. The police canine is going to be okay. In fact, investigators say that he played a big part in getting the suspect in custody. But just before 2 p.m., police say that they tried to stop the man armed with a knife. He was wanted for menacing and property crimes days before. Police say the man broke into a vacant basement apartment and refused to come out. They issued a shelter-in-place alert around Northwest 18th and Overton.
You're surrounded. You're on contained. I need you to come up with your hands up in the air.
So they evacuated the 2 women, and then they were all kind of surrounding that house, and that's when they sort of started telling us to back up and to step away.
During the standoff, police say that he destroyed a drone, damaged a robot, and hit Canine Harkos several times with a metal pipe. Police have not released the suspect's name. Meantime, neighbors of Portland's Washington Park want to warn visitors about a problem that they've been seeing for years now. We're talking about car break-ins, which often catch tourists off guard. And neighbors say it's been a generational issue and believe prowlers may be hiding in the woods, watching and waiting until their targets leave. Park officials say that they work with local agencies to make sure visitors are safe, but admit break-ins do happen. They say 9 out of 10 of the break-ins happen in cars that have valuables left out. So authorities urge you keep everything out of sight or take it with you.
Months after a fire destroyed Elephant's Delicatessen in Northwest Portland, new plans are in the works for the property. The Portland Business Journal reports an architecture firm has applied to renovate the building into a bar and restaurant with space for food carts. The fire started March 10th after a 56-year-old woman living on the street says she was looking for food and accidentally caught the building on fire. We spoke with neighbors who are ready to see the property come back to life, but aren't sold on another food cart pod.
I think a food cart pod and the food hall is a neat idea, but I think it definitely needs oversight and hopefully some community input. So we have a say in how that gets run as well.
Now, Elephants does not own the building. The CEO says that the company is actively exploring rebuilding in Northwest.
And just days after being installed, it looks like one of the crow statues placed around Portland has been vandalized. This is what the Crow in Pride Plaza looks like. There are 30 of these statues placed around the city to promote Wildwood. That's the upcoming movie inspired and set in Portland, coming out later this fall. Well, State and Fish and Wildlife troopers had to step in after an alligator was found living inside a Gresham apartment. The alligator was living inside an aquarium. Troopers worked with Department of Agriculture to safely take the gator out of the apartment and transport it to a reptile sanctuary. Generally, it's against state law to keep alligators or similar animals, though there are exceptions apparently. Oregon State Police say anything or did not say anything more about the apartment's resident or whether they face any criminal charges.
He's just a little guy. One lucky person in Illinois is now a billionaire. Last night, a ticket sold in the state matched all 5 numbers and the Powerball. The winner can take either the more than $1 billion prize paid out over 29 years, or they can get the lump sum of over $450 million before taxes. This was the 8th largest jackpot in Powerball history. Now, in case you want to check your ticket for any other winnings, here's a look at the numbers. 4, 26, 66, 67, 69, and the Powerball was 9. I mean, I could tell you that if I pick the numbers myself, I'm certainly not picking 3 numbers in the 60s. Like, I wouldn't have stood a chance there, so can't really be upset about it.
I had 1 line of tickets, and I got 0 numbers.
Well, there's better luck next
Odds
time,
are not
Rod.
in your favor, so that
It's
that
always
checks.
depressing when you just don't have, like, really? Not that you don't get anything for 1 number, by the way. But still, it's nice to see 1 number on your ticket, right? Here's our air quality map. We're watching an expected movement of wildfire smoke back into the valley today. Now, this morning, we're all good. A lot of the reporting sites up in Washington are not showing up on our map this morning. Sorry about that. Here's a look at our wildfire smoke track. And again, we're watching the smoke up in Washington, the red areas, and this is that thick smoke from the grasshopper fire as well. North to northeast wind flow bringing some of that back, mainly into the North Valley down into around Marion County. Not so much of the coast and not so much down to the south by the time you get into really even Lynn County and down into Eugene. But we'll see how noticeable the wildfire smoke is. If Futurecast is correct, we have the chance to get into a smoky overcast later today. We do have a push of marine cloudiness up and down the coast this morning. There's Schnickwinds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 60 degrees. We had that story earlier in our show of goats getting on board one of TriMet's buses, and we were wondering, do they get away from the zoo? Well, I can tell you, this is all I know, we don't see the goats out this morning from our live camera up in the Oregon Zoo. Don't know. 56 degrees is the temperature outside. We have 80s mostly inland today. The thunderstorm threat is back, by the way, central and eastern areas of our state. That presents a fire danger from potential lightning strikes, of course. So PM smoky haze, 82 today, thinning smoke tomorrow, good air quality back for the weekend with temperatures in the mid-80s. And the 7-day, I had a rain chance on Tuesday yesterday, but that looks like it's not going to happen. And that's your update for now.
Thank you very much, Rod.